Hey everyone, this is still not working. Why is it not? Okay. Hey everyone, we're live. Just give me a second. I just had a little technical thing. So just thanks for everyone. This is Shona from She's Got Assets. We're going to do an awesome live stream. I just need to get the guest on, so just give me a hot second. I had to work out a technical thing because Facebook changed their back end a little bit. So thanks again. If you're tuning in, let me know if you're there, if you can see me, if you're hearing me, if you can hear me, and we'll get started super soon. So just let me know. Sometimes Facebook, they changed their algorithms, and I'm using streaming software, so it can be a little persnickety, but I think I figured out my issue. So just inviting our guests back. We have a really fun guest tonight. I'm super excited, you guys. It's gonna be awesome. A little show and tell, special giveaway. So if you're on the line, you know the drill. Just give me a thumbs up if you can see me, if you can hear me. I'm gonna add Jennifer in now, and we're gonna get started. Awesome. Hey, we're back.
Technical difficulties.
Yes, right. It's always fun. Okay, I think we're live. So yay, everyone. Thanks for tuning in. I'm just going to say this is Shona from She's Got Assets. I have a really special guest on today, Jennifer Lea. I have to just tell you, we met at the Midterm Rental Summit, which was just amazing. It was totally our tribe. We connected over lots of things. Jennifer was awesome, super stylish, has a really cool product. So Jennifer, welcome. I'd love to hear a little bit about your story and what you're up to, what you're going to talk about tonight.
Thank you so much for having me. Nice to meet all of you, whether you're watching live or on the replay later. My name is Jennifer Lea. I am the founder and CEO of a company called Entry NV. I live in Omaha, Nebraska. And my quick story is that in January of 2020, I left a 16-year marriage and left the house that I lived in and took my 2 kids and a dog and moved into my parents' house for a few months. And then COVID hit, of course. I had a lake home that was about an hour and a half away, lived there for the summer. It was fantastic. COVID, what a year. My favorite tea towel to this day says, COVID, you're drunk, or 2020, you're drunk, go home, right? That was the year. Trying to find a house during the peak of the real estate market, we all remember, and during the financial turmoil of a divorce. So really was picky about what school district I wanted for my kids, and beggars couldn't be choosers. So I ended up getting a fixer-upper house. My dad was a carpenter for 40 years. So I grew up on side jobs before the days of cell phones. And so I was never afraid of picking up tools and hammers and drills and whatever, and just helping. So when I moved into this house, I looked at it and I was like, yeah, this is a fixer-upper, all right, but that's fine. I'm not afraid of it, and I'll just take it room by room. So about 9 months in, the inside of the house looked beautiful. I had about 1,800 hours of sweat equity into it. It looked great, but I came home every day to the outside that still looked like a fixer-upper. And I'm such a big believer, and this is where you and I really connect, in first impressions. And I don't care whether that's walking into your own house or whether that's a party or an office, a meeting, an event. First impressions matter. And it's interesting, even if you think about walking into your home, and if you walk into the garage is a mess and the mudroom is a mess and piles of by the back door, it does not make you feel like you're walking into this nice, peaceful, respite of a house, right? You walk into chaos, and I've got 2 kids, right? I understand this, but it makes such a difference. And so I came home every day and I looked at the outside of this house, and I was out of time, energy, and money. And I was like, oh my God, how do I add curb appeal without spending a lot? And so one thing I'm really good at is making the most of what's already there and making it look better. And so I thought, okay, the house, I don't love the color. It was kind of grayish blue, but I could live with it. But the garage door was white. The front door had been badly painted black. Their light fixture was from 1975 when the house was built. And the garage door, it was there was an eave above it. And then there were these small house numbers. One of them was crooked, fallen off. And I'm like, okay, if we can just paint the garage door and the front door, update the light fixture, and find some better house numbers, that's going to be a huge step in the right direction. So I started searching, Googling modern house number signs. Well, let me tell you, that's a boring search. I found one that I kind of liked, and it was a vertical sign and it had a planter box on the bottom. And I was like, well, that's kind of cute, but what would you plant in that? I live in Nebraska. Whatever is going to be there is going to die after, 3 or 4 months, and I'm going to have to water it twice a day, and then it's going to rot the wood, and then I've got water all over my front porch, and I don't have time for that. So I was like, all right, well, I'm going to make this sign anyway. And I really wanted to make it because I wanted gold numbers and they only had silver. So like on the Etsy site that I had found it on. So I make the sign and then I take it to Michael's and I spend 45 minutes in the faux floral craft section trying to find a bunch of fake crap to go in it that didn't look terrible. Then I had to buy like 3 foam blocks to fill the box first, and I only needed 1. And I had this whole bag of Spanish moss, and it's, I'm at home, $38 later, it's torn up all over the garage. I got to find my wire cutters because I don't need 12 tulips. This was right before Easter of April 2021. I only needed 3. And then I had bought this little robin's egg. I actually had to buy 12 of the robin's eggs, but I only needed 1. But then I had to find like something to poke in it so I could poke it into the foam so it didn't blow away. Anyway, this escapade, I'm thinking, and I thought watering this was going to be a lot of work, doesn't somebody ship me a little kit to go in this every month? And that was the beginning of Entry Envy, because the answer was no. So my company creates exterior custom house signs with modern house numbers, last names, monograms. They're horizontal or vertical. They all have a planter box on the front. And then we ship monthly or quarterly faux floral, no water required, holiday and seasonal decor kits. So you don't have to scratch your front door with a wreath. You don't have to figure out what goes in there. You don't have to water anything. And it just is this little tiny touch of, hey, we take really good care of this house. We care. Welcome. And you're at the right spot.
That's so cool. I love how you turned a problem into a solution, like you just didn't find it, so you created it. But
yeah,
so a lot
do, right?
Right? Yeah, that's what I feel like I started 2 new businesses this week. I'm just like, but I think, and I know we talked about this, the importance of setting the tone when you get there, right? Like I know this from flipping. When you're flipping or rehabbing a house, right? If someone walks up and the window is dirty or there's some kind of paint issue, it sets the tone. And I think the numbers and that seasonal item really just says, hey, we care, it's fresh, it's relevant. And I don't think we think about that enough as far as curb appeal and impressions.
Yeah. Many years ago, the first time I ever in my adult life hired a cleaning company for my house, and they were meeting with me and going through what their services included. The woman who owned the company said, and we always clean the glass on the front door. And I said, oh, every week? She said, yes. Because if you come home and the glass on your front door is not clean, you immediately start looking for everything else that's not clean. Like, were they there today or were they not? If the glass is spotless, the first thing that you start looking for is, oh, yay, cleaning company was here. Doesn't it look nice? And so I think that's so important. Like, it really does. It sets, I always say curb appeal starts literally at the curb, right? As people are approaching a property, how well is the yard cared for? Has the lawn been edged? Is the driveway clean and free of debris? Are there flower pots? It's like, is there anything dead or alive in there? I don't care if it's fake. Does it look good? And, and I always think like flower pots are like websites. If you're going to have bad flower pots, just don't have them at all, right? Like, take care of it. And then you finally get to that front porch. And is the rug like old and gross and like needs to be replaced, or has it been, relatively new within the last couple of months? Outdoor decor is hard. The elements, especially depending on where you live, nothing lasts super long outside. Again, whether it's supposed to be alive or whether it was dead to start with, like, it's just tough. We've got sun and rain and snow and wind and hurricanes and whatever else, depending on where you live. And so really set that tone and say, we care about this property. We take care of it. And it doesn't take nearly as much time as what a lot of people think, but that's partially because we've created a great solution for it. It just didn't exist. I am a busy mom with 2 kids, and prior to starting this company, I managed a law firm for 20 years. And I always found it really challenging to like get to the store before that upcoming season, right? Like all of a sudden right? Where does the time go, Shona? Right? Like,
If
oh
I
my
can
gosh.
just get to the store and like seasonal, that's like beyond.
Yeah.
It's like another level of complexity.
Right. Like, oh my gosh. And then, and then it always drives me crazy. Like these places, all the craft stores always have like floral 40 or 50 or 60% off. Right. But inevitably, like I go on the week that it's not on sale and then I'm just annoyed, but I'm already there. So I'm not going to go anywhere else. I'm just going to buy the darn thing, and then you got to figure out how you're going to hang it or where you're going to put it. And it's just like, I just really, truly, I just want something delivered to my door. I want it easy. I want it done. And like, let's just move on.
Yeah, no, and I think, so midterm, short term, right? We are in the hospitality business, and it's so important, again, that you walk up. And I think if you see that and that's the extra care, it's the experience, you're setting the tone, it's really welcoming, it's easy to find, right? And it's also, if something is askew inside, you're just like, oh, you're just coming in with this really positive, happy kind of vibe. You're going to maybe overlook something else. Not that we're looking for things to overlook, but I think experience is so important in this industry.
Well, I think it's just, the very first thing that your renter is doing, your guest, is they're trying to find your house. And they're skeptical right off the bat, right? Like, is this really what they showed on the internet? Right. I think this is it. Oh God. The husband's looking at you like, really? Is it, did you rent the place or not? Do you have the right address? Is this it? And then, even when you get up to the front door, you're hoping you're not walking in on somebody else's dinner, like, I think this is it. So like, I always use the example that if you are going to your friend's house for the first time and she's given you the address, so you've put it in your phone, right? And you're going via GPS, but she also said, hey, the white SUV is parked in the driveway. You're like driving and you're following your GPS, but you're looking because when you get into neighborhoods, it gets a little sketchy. Like, which is it on the right side of the street? Is it on the left side of the street? And you're looking, oh, where's the white SUV? And you're like, oh, that's it. And you immediately are like, okay, I'm at the right spot. So what can you do to create that same sense of relief for your guests of, oh yeah, I'm at the right house? It's like double verification. We are so used to having to, double check this is the right bank account. This is the right website. This is the right whatever, right? So like, how do you double verify your property for the sake of your guests? Set that expectation. They are already at ease at the front door. I know I'm at the right house, and look at how cute this decoration is and how nice the front porch looks. Oh my gosh, I can't wait to go inside. It must be darling.
Totally. That reminds me, I grew up in a small town. This was like pre-GPS. It was like, look for the canoe and mile marker 32, and there's a dirt road, and it was just like, there's the canoe, like there's the tree with the mark. Yeah. No, that's, well, and I do a lot of I buy off market properties, and I swear to God, every time I'm like, I should give myself an extra 15 minutes to find the house, because I'm like, the numbers are hard to find, and I'm going in circles, right? And then I'm getting annoyed before I even get there, and it's not the right frame. Your frame of mind is different when you're like searching for something.
You're already nervous. You're already a little anxious.
Totally. And a lot of people, depends on what kind of guest, but they're really, for the most part, they are booking, right, for midterms, a sight unseen, right? So they're hoping the pictures look like what it is, which, it should, but not everyone has that same standard, right? So, I think, and to your point, just saying there's house numbers, look for the house numbers, look for the plaque. And I love the idea that you can brand it too. I just think that's really fun. Just like, and if anyone can relate to this, just type like a number 1 in the chat. Let us know if this is resonating, because I just geek out on this stuff. So.
Well, yeah, we can brand any of them, any of the boxes. We can put a custom logo on the front, and I mean, everybody has a different opinion whether somebody wants to know that that's a rental or not. There's different philosophies on that, and I know that. But I look at it a lot like you wouldn't get in an Uber unless there was a on the front of the car, right? You wouldn't get in, so it's kind of like that, just again, verification. I think the other thing that's so important to once your guest has arrived, they are going to be receiving deliveries while they're residing there. They're going to have Instacart. They're going to have food deliveries. Amazon Prime is going to deliver there. So all of the delivery drivers need to be able to easily identify your house for the convenience of your guest. And your guest may have guests, right? So it's that same piece. And, then God forbid, but I mean, what if there's an emergency? You need to make sure that the ambulance or the fire department can easily find it. Or maybe you have an HVAC guy who's going to be servicing it while they're there. House numbers should not be a secret. And even if it's not a house number, and when we do last names and monograms and names of the guests, or, names of the Airbnbs as well, or, the rental, whatever, however somebody wants to identify their home, but just something that helps make sure. I mean, generally house numbers are the most common, but if the house already has good house numbers, it's still nice to have a little extra touch on the front porch that even just says welcome. And there's a little decoration. And that way, when you're talking to your guests, you're like, here's the house number is 4235. And there's a sign on the front porch and it says welcome, or the name of the property or whatever. And they're like, okay, yeah, that's it. But again, they can identify in that same way for their delivery drivers.
Totally. Yeah. No, I'm just thinking because I self-check-in, right? But if I was like, hey, look for and it's also like a surprise and delight, right? Like you don't say look for the cute, like arrangement, but it's just like, oh, like it's just, how can you not smile if you see, some seasonal item on there? So and I hadn't thought about the safety thing. Like if God forbid there is an emergency, can they find your house, right? Because that would be a problem. Time is of the essence.
Yeah. You want me to show you what one of our boxes
is? Yeah, I'd love to. Yeah, let's do a demo. Yeah. So cool.
All right. Well, this is so we do horizontal and we do vertical. And this is a kit from last year. So we don't repeat kits. This was from a 4th of July one, though, from last year. And so all of our kits have 3 things in them each month. So we have a ground cover. So it might be moss, it might be faux snow. The moss could be green or brown. There's some could be grass, everything again, no water required. It always has a faux floral pick. And this is not something that you can just buy at Hobby Lobby or wherever. We have put this together for you. It's done. So all you have to do is stick it in. We had one of our customers who said, that's not a pick, that's a luxury pick. I'm like, okay, call it a luxury pick. It has an accessory. So like it has a little sign in it. It might have, I'm going to show you what a new one looks like as I'm taking this out. Sometimes we also include lights. So this is a candle, that's a timer, 6 hours on, 18 hours off. So whatever time you turned it on the first time, it'll come on every day like that for the next 30 days. And then this has this would be the moss, and we have it in a nice little bag for you. It's already in the shape, so it's super easy to drop in. So then in the bottom of it is just this foam. Now, the other thing that's really kind of fun about that foam is that you could take it out and stick a key in the bottom of it. So it's a great spot for an emergency at 2 a.m. when, the key panel breaks, or the battery runs out or whatever. It's like not enough box, but nobody would ever look for it, because even if the foam block, like even if they lifted up the whole thing, they're not going to probably look in the bottom of it and go, oh, there must be a key stuck. But it's accessible enough for your residents, right? So then you get this cute little box each month, and it's going to have, so it's always the same size. It's very easy. This is your surprise and delight factor. And here's the front of it. So it has entry and end and have a sticker. So you would have an instruction card, and there's always just 3 or 4 easy steps on there. And it has a picture of what this is going to look like. Everything in it is super cute. It's wrapped. So if you had a guest staying there for 3 or 4 months and you just wanted to even have them unwrap it, it would be a surprise and delight for them. If it's a guy, a construction guy, that might be a little trickier, but your nurses would love it or whatnot, right? So this would be, well, let's just be honest, right? So this is going to be, I'm going to show you what's in here in just a second. And then this one is a very unique ground cover. So I'm going to show you what we're doing with this. So it's a little, I'm going to call it a lily pad. And then this is kind of this little piece of grass. So when we get done with this, I just took it. I didn't want to unwrap it all on here because it makes a lot of noise. But this is this cute little lily pad, and we're going to just stick it right on top of the moss or of the little foam wall. And then you're going to take your little grass and you're going to find a spot in the lily pad, if you will, that doesn't have a flower. So you can poke it in and just stick it just like that. And then this in that little brown package is this darling frog. And he's on a little stand that has a pokey. So you just poke it through your lily pad and you have your decoration done, like completely done. It's 1 minute.
So
You took the old stuff, you threw it away. You can keep it if you want to, but if it's had spiders that moved in or got icky from the weather, and that's it, and you're done, literally. So those come in vertical as well, and so that's just a really, really quick demo. We have 6 different kits a month that we ship. We do modern and classic decor styles. I would say probably it's about 50-50, honestly. So modern is just a little bit edgier. That one is called modern. And the first one that was in there, that was the 4th of July, is that one I think actually was a classic. So it's just a little bit more representative of the traditional colors and of the season that you might see. But yeah, it's $29 a month, and that's super easy. So you're done. And the first sign is $129. And your people get a discount. Of course they do.
Yay, I will drop that in the code. Yeah, let us know what you think on the comments. I couldn't help but smile. It's just so sweet and it's simple and it's not like, there's no way I would go to the store and do that. It's just but getting, like, I can just see my daughter be like, what did we get this, and she could go replace it, even at our house. Like, it just comes home. Just
yes, and I should mention we do have a small sign version that hangs on the door of an assisted living facility. So if you have moms in assisted living or older, my grandma has one. Just love them. They're so easy, but the subscription is the same, so it doesn't matter what the subscription is. The other thing is, and I've got one here, and this was a little mom box that we did, but these are all fully customizable, and we can hold business. These are called little envies. Again, subscription is the same, fits all of our products, but we can put on these business card holders, your business logo. It can be a Wi-Fi network. So it could be, by your guest book. And then that decoration could match your front door, just as an idea for consistency as well. So
totally. Yeah, it's all about those little details. I mean, the details make the design, right? Those thoughtful little things. And I mean, it just really sets the tone. That is so much fun. I love that it just comes, it's just kind of that, it's effortless, right? It's fun.
It's so easy, and it's not cheesy. Like, I am not a cheesy person. Like, I just am not. I am very, very tasteful. My style is a cross between Pottery Barn and Joanna Gaines, and the classic probably is a little bit of Martha Stewart thrown in. I always say my assistant is 27. Like, she's our production coordinator. She's amazing. If you ordered a sign, she would be the one who is making sure that it gets to you, that it's accurate, that, like, if it had a name or something on it, she would send the proof to make sure you like the font. And then, but she's 27 is the relevant piece of this information. I'm 46. And then my mom is in charge of making sure our kits go out every single month. She is incredible. She worked in corporate for 30 years and she runs a team here. And so she is 65, and then my grandma is 91. So when I design our 6 kits in the month, I like how I profile them, whether they're modern or whether they're classic, is sort of like who I know. Like, if my grandma would like it, then I'm going to say that it's classic. She never likes anything that's in the modern category. Like, if my assistant, she never really usually likes the classic. Like, she's always going to the modern. And then my mom and I kind of go both back and forth. But I always say, like, if I wouldn't put it on my own front porch, it is not going out the door. Like, that is my rule. I have to love it. And I'm picky about that stuff because it's the details. And it's just like, throw a rug down. And by the way, on these rugs, let me talk about this. I don't know, 99% sure that it was a man who invented the standard size of a rug that is sold, at Target XYZ, name the place, to go in front of your door. Okay, it is do not buy that size. Like those little stupid 2x3 rugs, like they're so like they're not purposeful, and they make your front porch look so much smaller than what it is. Like that is the
Yes.
number one. And so, like, if you can lay, I always say, like, go kind of as big as you can, like a 3x4, a 3x5, even a 4x6. Like, it says you have arrived. You have arrived. And don't ever worry about whether it's indoor or outdoor label. Like, it doesn't matter. You're going to throw this rug away in 3 months. That's my rule. 3 months is how long I keep rugs, and they're going away
Yeah.
because they just get gross. And you can vacuum them like normal and whatever, but I just am a big believer in like have a nice strong rug that says you've arrived, and then do your little entry envy sign with your decor, and like you don't have to have anything else. I love solar lights. I think that you it can have and people always like some well, one of my friends makes fun of me. I love garden flags, and I know that sounds kind of grandma-ish, but they're so cute if they're tasteful and they're not like, again, it's the style of it. But if you shine a little solar light on a garden flag, and then that's the first thing that you're seeing on the walk on the way to the house, and it's because how many of your guests a lot of times are arriving at night, right? And you want something that just says, hey, it's okay, you're here. And that's another identifier you can tell them to look for, because people are really nervous when they go to a property in the evening. And then, they get up to the stairs and, to that front porch, they see the nice big rug, they see the little entry envy sign, and they're like, okay, perfect, we're at the right spot.
And that just reminded me, a big thing with, there's all kinds of avatars for MTRs, but for traveling medical professionals specifically, safety, a well-lit entrance is really important. And if you're scrolling through a site and you see a front door with it's just going to be like, you're going to be like, there's an attention to detail. I feel like they care about the environment. So I think it's a big selling point too. And that's really showing without telling, right? It's just like, oh, they have a cute, and you can update it. And, you should be updating your pictures anyway, right? So yeah.
Well, and that's kind of fun too. I'll tell you that what we can do, and this is super easy for us. So if you send us a picture of the outside of the property, we drop it into Canva, and we actually will put the sign, your sign that you order, on it, and we will do it with 4 different seasons. So we'll send those pictures back to you, and then you have 4 pictures with your sign on it, so they know what they're looking for: spring, summer, fall, winter. So all you have to do is just repost that, and then that way you are showing it is taken care of. It's the correct holiday, it's the correct season, if you will, and you don't have to worry about it. So if anybody would like that, just in checkout at notes, just say this is for a property, and we'll be happy to include that. Or you can use our online chat feature or whatnot, but it's very easy for us to do that.
I love it. It's making me think, like, I have kind of my evergreen move-in messages, right? We have an app, but usually it's a quick text because they haven't gotten set up. But I think even including a picture of the front door is another level of communication, because it's just like, okay, you just visually remember it, you have the address, and I usually include the basics, but just why don't you throw a picture in your welcome message? It's that much more attention to detail, and you just because sometimes I'm going to a house, I'm like, I should have looked it up on Redfin or whatever I'm going, and I just I don't know what it looks like. I'm looking for the numbers, and and the house color is usually different. So for anyone listening, like, if you have this beautiful entry envy box, like, take a picture of it and just put it with your kind of welcome message, as because usually people are checking in. I'm not meeting them. I don't. It's just
right.
We have smart technology now. We don't need to meet people, but I think it's a really nice touch. That is so cool. I see a couple questions here. Wendy says, I was planning to build a box of seasonal items to keep in the rental, but I love the idea. Awesome. Yes, super great. Yeah, Wendy wants to get a picture. So Wendy, I will, how heavy is the sign? That she's asking.
Great question. So the exterior signs weigh 6 pounds, and we include all of the hanging materials. So if you go to our website, just entryenvy.com, at the bottom, there's a page called, and like in the footer, it's called Specs and Installation. You can see the details of how they hang. The vertical ones have a French cleat on the back. So it's just 2 screws. It's easy to slide on and off. And then the horizontal ones have 2 keyholes. So you put the 2 screws in and then you put it on and you just slide it over. All you need is a drill. The installation instructions are in there. And the screws that we include are 2.5 inches called multi-material. So they can go in brick, stone, stucco, wood siding, plastic siding, it doesn't matter. And the other thing we have is what's called brick clips. And so if you do have a brick house, sometimes the brick clips, if it's in a protected location where it's not going to get a lot of wind, they will work really well and then you don't have to drill in there. If it's stone or stucco, it says in the installation guide, and we sell this at cost, it's $5. You'll need a carbide drill bit. So you pre-drill your hole before you put the screws in. But again, I've got videos. It's easy. I walk through how you install all of this. I think that is the difference. Like female-owned companies, like we think about all the details and like you even down to the drill bit that you need to install this. It's in the bag. Like it's super easy, but it's 6 pounds. And then the little ones for like the assisted living facilities, those are 2 pounds. And we just include a little command hook, damage free with that. And then the boxes that sit inside, like by your guest book or whatever, those weigh about 1/2 pound. They're super lightweight. They're just filled with foam.
I think we lost audio. Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Okay, yeah. Yeah, no,
Okay.
those details matter, right? Well, if you get there and you can't install something, then you're going to the hardware store and then you're just like hunting down that stuff, which is just beyond.
Yep.
I've been to the hardware store a lot in the last couple of days. So.
Just need a drill. That's it.
That's amazing. Super cool. I'm going to drop in the link into Facebook here. So if anyone was
and
interested,
make sure, you include the link. And then just so everybody knows, this week through Friday, we are giving you your first kit free. So you can use the link that you're dropping in and then add free kit, one word, to that. And so you'll save 10% off of your purchase, and that includes ongoing. So you'll always save 10% off of your subscription boxes, and then you get your first kit free. So it's a great deal this week. And if you're not sure of like which sign would look best, again, send us a picture of your property and we'll show you what it looks like before you buy it. I'm always a visual person. Like, I don't know, like I need to see it. So that's an easy way.
I think that sometimes it's a lot to kind of, you're just looking at seeing it visually, I think, and you're probably like, yes, that's amazing. Or if you're debating between 2 styles, I think sometimes it's helpful. So that's really awesome that you offer that.
Yeah.
Anything, I think we've covered a lot. I just want to emphasize like curbside appeal is so important. I think we think about the inside of properties, like how we're staging and how we're designing it, but the outside is super important, right? The numbers, the light, that it's tidy, and that your cleaner is sweeping the porch. You just have, those are really important because it sets the tone, like we've been talking about. It really does. And if you walk up to a dirty porch and like a dead plant, right? You're just going to walk in. You're like looking for what else is wrong versus being excited to be there.
Yeah. Don't give anybody a reason to look for what's wrong, right?
Right. Totally. I'm going to make sure the glass is clean now too. I never thought about that. It's really
the glass is huge, and especially in the light fixture by the front porch as well. Like you don't have to have every single window clean, but the glass on the front door, the glass right by, if there's a window right there next to it, the glass on the front on the light fixture, those are big. Another secret trick is if you spray WD-40. There are 100 uses of WD-40. I think I've come up with maybe 120. But if you spray WD-40 in the corner, like the edge, spiders' webs won't stick to it. They can't build webs there. And so I typically do it like twice a year, once kind of now at the beginning of the season, and then I do another one like halfway through summer. But it's great. And you don't have to go crazy, but it's like nobody ever really looks up there, but it's really effective.
That's funny you mentioned that because I was just sweeping cobwebs yesterday. They were all in the corners, right? And they were looking a little funky. Yeah, that is amazing. I never would have thought about that. Yeah, we were using it for those privacy slats recently, which are really ugly, but it was a short-term fix. But yeah, WD-40, some of them were not going in very well.
I love WD-40.
So cool. What are the most common questions you get? I'm just curious, or things that people usually are wondering about. If anyone hasn't, I'm just curious. mean, I love the concept, but
I think for sure, like some sizing. So the signs are 9 inches wide, the vertical, and they're 2 feet tall, so 24 inches tall. The horizontal ones are 12 inches tall by 24 inches long, and the dimensions are on our site. The other thing, if you have an iPhone, you can go to our website. Again, it's entrynv.com, find the product that you're looking at, and then the second picture says, see this on my house. So we have built-in AR technology, so you can hold it up and visualize it that way as well, which is pretty cool. But again, you can also email us a picture and we'll do it for you. So because you may not be at your house, right? At the property. So it's just as easy. I think we ship on the 22nd of every month. We do offer quarterly versus monthly. I'm just going to tell you, I don't recommend it for the rentals. I think quarterly, if it's in a very well protected location and you're never going to get a spider in it during the summer, then it's okay. But I just feel like you really want to make sure this property has said that it's been well cared for and it's taken care of and it's kept up. And those quarterly ones, it's like, oh, great, that's great. I don't have to update it as much. But I mean, honestly, asking faux floral to look good after 90 days, it's just not going to happen. I mean, you can get 60, but you've got sun that fades stuff. You've got the rain and the snow and the wind and the storms and spiders. And I just don't recommend that. So I would say $30 a month is your best bet on that. So it ships on the 22nd of every month. We can ship it wherever. You can have multiple addresses where things ship to. All of your online account management is easy. You can skip a month. You can cancel. Again, we're not like the Netflix of the world where like you're never going to be able to talk to us. Like any questions, any problems, you can change your decor style. So if you start with modern and you want to change it to classic, if you don't know or you don't care, there's an option that just says choose for me, and we'll send you a variety of everything. So those questions people get hung up on. Like they're worried they're going to pick the wrong sign or they're going to pick the wrong decor kit. We have 100% money back guarantee. I promise you that you're not going, if you get your sign and you hate it, then just let us know. We'll be happy to make it. I've never had one come back. It's, super easy to install. Even like if you hired a handyman, your whoever helps you around the property to install it, even the guys are impressed with this. Like they get it and they're like, oh, this is really nice. Yes, it's really nice. There's even a drill bit. Yes, there's even a drill bit here, So
that's so thoughtful. Yeah.
Yeah. So I mean, really it's super easy. I don't feel like we don't usually have too many questions. We ship everything via USPS on the monthly basis, but usually UPS, if you have a request, we never charge for shipping. It's always free. So you don't have to worry about it. That if you have a property located somewhere where you know that UPS or FedEx or whatever service is more reliable, just let us know. Happy to accommodate.
Okay. Yeah. I grew up in a small town. It was always those PO boxes, and it was always this shit. Just where is it coming to the PO box physical? It's very complicated. Yep. I don't know why, but one question I have is like, I love modern vertical numbers. And if someone's on the fence, what trends are you seeing with that? Like, I mean, that's my go-to, but I'm curious if you have like a point of view on that.
We're definitely still seeing gold. We have two different colors of the modern vertical. We also have, just so everybody knows, there is a classic option. So our modern numbers are 5 inches and they're floating, but we also have a 4-inch classic number. There's some pictures online, put it in the request. The charge is the same, but sometimes depending on where the property is at, it just fits the house better. It fits the style, it fits the neighborhood. So that's no problem. And we can do them again in any color. But I tell you, I'm partial to what's called our champagne gold. So we have modern gold and then we have brushed silver, and you can look at the pictures and the products, and it's a really pretty representative differentiation. But the modern gold is just like the champagne gold is just a warm it's a warm gold, but it's not yellow. It's like if you didn't know it was gold, you would look at it and be like, is that silver or is that gold? And that's the one that I think we're seeing more and more orders for right now because it can kind of go either way. It has a modern look without it clashing if you already have a brushed stainless, handle on your front porch. So it kind of elevates it without that. But the absolutely hands down our bestseller is a black vertical sign with either a monogram or the name of a property or a last name or house numbers. So that trend has not changed in the last 2.5 years since we started the company.
God, that's interesting. The hardware thing, right? And I do think the gold, the right shade of gold, because it can be garish if it's the wrong shade. And I've ordered stuff and I'm like, that's not the gold that I want because it looks kind of cheesy, right? It's not the right, like you were saying, shade of gold. It's important.
Falls back into the category. I'm not a cheesy person. Nothing that goes out of our stuff is cheesy. And the modern gold is pretty, but it just really you've got to have a really updated house to pull that one off. I think you really got to have that gold already going on.
Yeah, and that's a very kind of, you can't just slip it into like a little bit of an older home. It just, you have to, I like to modernize, but sometimes the flavor of the house is just like, you got to like figure out that vibe and not force it because then it looks awkward, I think,
Yeah, got to work with the bones. Absolutely.
Yeah.
And the other thing that, this isn't a question, but I just would say faux floral in a pot looks so nice. You just, it can go such a long ways. Or even a fake tree on the front porch, but there is a spray, you can buy it online called UV floral spray. And it really does help extend the life of any of your faux floral. Not saying you don't have to worry about it for our stuff because you're not going to have it out there for that long. But if you did faux floral for pots or something like that, it's a great product to just you'll get another month out of it because otherwise the greens sort of start to turn weird colors. And what was once red is now this terribly ugly faded pink. And, again, it's worse to have a bad flower pot than none at all. So just think about that. But it's the little extra touches. So good solar light, garden flag. You don't get more than 3 months. That's the max. You don't get to keep anything out there longer than that. Clean the glass. One of my other favorite products for cleaning glass, just quickly, FYI, is the e-cloth. It's on Amazon if anybody loves those, but it's just e-cloth and they are so easy. I keep them in my car. I use them for my computer screens. But if you just have like a quick glass touch up, grab those. Keep that handy.
That's a good, because I feel like the Windex is never where I want it to be.
Then it's a mess. Then you get streaks and you just,
Yeah, no, I love all those tips. Those are just those little details, right? If you can just take away that smudge, that's awesome. Well, it's been so fun. I think there might be a special giveaway if you want to talk about that.
Absolutely. I am so excited. We are doing a giveaway for $199 gift card. And that is going to cover a sign and 3 months. It's actually probably going to be extra because you're getting all these great discounts. So right now you could get 4 months because we're doing the free kit if you order by Friday. I think that one of the things about our product is that you have to experience it for a couple of months to understand the true ease of this. We do not lose customers and people absolutely love it. And 20% of our customers have more than one of our subscriptions. And these are people who don't own properties for the most part. They buy them for their house and then they buy them for their office and then they buy them for the second house and then they buy them for their moms and they're loving it. But I want you to be able to experience that. And so whatever sign you want, you just can use that and order it. And so however you want to go about giving that away, we will just email the gift card to the lucky winner and can't wait to make their sign and hopefully they'll share it in your group.
Yeah, I love that. How about we say, type in the comments, entry envy giveaway and tag a friend and like this post and then we'll do a drawing. Yeah, that's very generous. Thank you. I just love this whole concept. It's bringing a little joy, right? And just coming home to that, I think, can just make you, appreciate your front door a lot more.
Yeah, well, and just think about your own house when you come home and like just that first impression, and just you want it to be a place of solitude, not of chaos. And it is incredible the little extra time that you can spend, getting the garage tidy, getting the mudroom tidy, just, because that's where we come in, right? We don't usually go through the front door, but it's
It's
good.
so true. Yeah. Our garage, I came back from that midterm summit and furnished 2 midterms, and there's just like a mountain of cardboard and plastic. It's just the aftermath. It's just kind of, you just feel like kind of stresses you out walking by this pile of boxes. And yeah, so good
Yeah,
reminder.
absolutely. Absolutely. Well, it has been such a pleasure. So excited to
Yes.
see who is tonight. And
Yes, and if you're watching the replay, I'll leave it open until like tomorrow night. So just feel free to comment, and then I'll pick a winner. So yeah, so it's not too late to chime in if you're watching the replay. Jennifer, thank you
that's
so
great.
much for
Yeah,
sharing.
absolutely. Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And again, don't hesitate if anybody has any questions, you can get us on the online chat or send me an email, jennifer@entrynv.com.
Yay, awesome! Thanks for tuning in, everyone. Feel free to comment after if you want to learn more, and don't miss out on this awesome opportunity. So yay.